Hi, I'm sorry for the audio, it might be a bit off today as it's a bit of a spontaneous video. I was sitting around in my greenhouse, minding my own business, enjoying the evening, thinking about data optimization in general and the long tail problem in particular. When I realized something about the old world, but more about the actual point later. The thing I thought about was that, let's just get the car to pass there. Games Workshop, they want to sell miniatures, right? Obviously, and I want to buy some of them. Not all of them, but some of them. And it's a bit dependent on the marketing as well. And we've seen the pattern now, how they release factions for the old world. At least I believe so. I mean, it can always change, but so far it's been sort of the core units, which I suppose are what used to be the army in the 8th edition. I'm not really an expert here, but it doesn't really seem to be the Age of Sigmar stuff. If you look at like the Night Goblins, which are actually the ones I like rather than the ones who are in the Age of Sigmar. I'm not an expert here, please tell me if I'm wrong, but that's what I believe. So that's what they release as the sort of core of the army. And then you also get a bunch of made to order stuff during the release for a short while. And not only do you get a list, like a proper grand army list, you also get two different kind of alternative armies as well. So what I will be doing now is I will go through this book, not the entire thing because it's kind of thick, but the army display pages, which I dearly hope are in here because they should be in a book like this, and I will tell you which other sort of alternative army I would wish for when it comes to this faction. For each faction I will do that, and also what sort of made to order unit would make me buy miniatures. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's go. So let's jump in and see what we get. Warhammer armies, and I think it's easy I think these are the color pages, right? Yes. They're in here, yes. The Empire, that's a good army. I'm kind of interested in those as they are, but let's just stick to the subject here. The two things, alternative armies and things to bring back. And the first thing I would think of when it comes to alternative armies is some sort of engineering centered list, which probably isn't really revolutionary, but a lot of black powder stuff, perhaps some nice steam tank buffs and artillery. I can't see the pistoliers here, but I do hope they bring them back. It would be nice with some, that would happen, like dragoons that can dismount and shoot and stuff like that. It would be troublesome having double units. But that would be a fun army, like there's the Royal Artillery something of Nuln, right? Probably not royal as it's an empire, but the Imperial Artillery Corps of Nuln, that would be something. And bring back, I see they have the warrior priests here. I don't know if they're something made to order or if they're something that comes back as if those existed plastic kits. But that would also be a fun army, like the crazy people, like the warrior priest together with some flagellants. I can't see the flagellants either, but I really don't believe that they will skip those. And I see the, not outlaws, but the militia. Yeah, that's nice. Not that I want them for an army, but they would be nice. They're a good Mordheim kit. That's why I like them to come back. Come to think about it now, I think I've seen a sort of and general on a mechanical horse. That would be something I would like to bring back. Something that could lead this this not unroyal artillery corps. Bretonnia, can't speculate here because we already know what they got, and I must say that I will just explain briefly about the Exiles, because I really like the Exiles army, because it is Bretonnia, at the same time it's not Bretonnia. It's quite different. I don't know the other one, the questing thing, but the Exiles is a really nice example, because I'm playing Bretonnia, but I'm not actually that interested in Bretonnia as such. I like them because they're a medieval army with like foot soldiers and bowmen and a bunch of horses. They haven't got that much fun going, really. I think the Grail people, like the Battle Pilgrims, are the most fun stuff they have. I mean, sure, they have the flying horses. That's pretty much an asset, I believe. But these are the really cool guys, I think. Especially like the dead guy on a horse. That's pretty much Mordheim, right in the middle of fancy battles. I didn't get one though, because they sold out, but perhaps I could make one myself. That would be fun. Anyway, the point is that the Exiles army make it flexible to use an army in a slightly different way, and I like that. That's what I think they should have it for. The Wood Elves, which used to be my favorite or perhaps second favorite army, and they pretty much passed that down to zero interest, because well, it's because of the core troops, I think. I can't really tell exactly what it is, but they look too World of Warcraft, if you know what I mean. They look organic, and that's fine, you know, they are elves from the woods, but they look organic in a way too neat way. Organic is really not neat, it's supposed to be messy. These guys are much better. I have no idea what they are. They're, because I think that's a 3-man, right? The big one. And these are not 3-men, they're like passing car. They're like junior 3-men or something, because they're not Dryads, I think they're much smaller. And I think that would be a cool army, you know, like the wood spirits or something like that. A lot of these things. I would like that. And if there was something I would buy on made to order, it would probably be are these the new Way Watchers? Because I would like to buy the old ones. Actually, I have some of them already for use for skirmish games, which I bought for stupid amounts of money compared to what they cost back in the day. But that would be nice. I also bought the Forest Dragon. That's the best dragon of the old ones. But I already have one of those for an even more ridiculous amount of money. These are actually pretty cool, like the idea at least of elves riding elks. But they have the same sort of World of Warcraft problem. Stupid scooter. But it would be a fun challenge, you know, like to buy some of these and actually try to make them a bit more sinister. High Elves, yes. Why would anyone want to play High Elves if you can play Wood Elves? Yeah, I'm not really sure. I can't really say, you know, what stuff to bring back as made to order, because I have no idea what they used to have in the past. I would never buy these flying eagle chariot things, but that's just personal taste. This really looks like some old dragon, but I wouldn't buy that one either, I think. So let's just go straight for the alternative army lists, and that would probably be, I have no idea either. They're not from the, if you look at the map, they're not in the map, right? They're from the somewhere along the sea or something like that. Perhaps that could be a thing, you know, like sea elves. Probably too many sculpts, so that probably won't happen. But and it can't really be pirates, because that would be dark elves, I think. These actually look pretty cool. But then if I would paint them, they would be dark elves, so yeah. mage thing. They could have a mage thing, you know, like powerful mages. That could be a really high elfy thing, right? Probably wouldn't buy it, but someone else might. Orcs and Goblins. Yes, interesting as it is, and we have 2 already alternative lists, so I can't really speculate about that. But I think they're good ones. You know, like the trolls and the nomads. They're 2 different ways of using the same army, and I think that's really what it should be about. And when it comes to bring back as made to order, yes, it will be the stone trolls. I can admit that I already bought a set of stone trolls, mainly just to paint. And in case I want one of these armies in the future. Sorry if I say that, because I'm not really into that sort of thing, you know, buying stuff like that, because that's really, you know, falling to Games Workshop's fear of missing out. But I just like to paint them. Yeah, these guys are pretty fun, like Doom Diver. But fun, I'm not really sure I would get them anyway. No? And Dwarves, yes, they are the army that I almost had. Well, actually I had an army, but I'm not really sure how much it was. Probably 1,000 points or something. But they pretty much wiped all the interest. These are not too different from the 6th edition core troops, but it's much enough to actually wipe out all the interest. I mean, it's something about the bulgy shields and stuff like that. And let's just skip all my, you know, rants about how I dislike stuff, because you will get tired of that. Let's just concentrate on what I would buy if they made to order, and that would be obviously be the 6th edition Ironbreakers, which I go on about all the time because I really like those. And perhaps the passing car, perhaps the Thunderers that come with them, you know, like the Metal Thunderers. I really like those as well. And when it comes to, are these the new Ironbreakers or Longbeards? I can't really tell, but yeah, probably Ironbreakers. Yeah, I mean, sorry if I get derailed here, but dwarves are supposed to look, you know, rough. These look like, I don't know, some sort of sci-fi spaceship. Yeah, no, sorry, yeah, let's not go there. Really, that's it. Okay, so let's concentrate. The alternative armies, some sort of miner centered thing. I would think that would be pretty cool. Like miners defending their mine, obviously. Miners with the black powder stuff. That would be something, I think. Longbeards. Okay, so there were Longbeards. It doesn't really matter. Iron Drakes. These are pretty cool as concept. I mean, I really dislike the this is the same thing as with these guys. It looked like some sort of sci-fi spaceship mated with World of Warcraft. But the concept of heavily armed guys with guns, that is awesome. Tomb Kings, yes. Once again, you know, why would you play Tomb Kings if you can play Vampire Counts? I think these are even in the same box, you know, like they're actually the same box. Just to get extra bits for the Tomb Kings, you can just skip the Tomb King stuff and you can make regular skeletons. But that's not why we're here. Made to order, I didn't buy anything of the made to order stuff, and I'm not really sure what it was. But let's jump to the alternative armies, which I'm not really sure what they are. They already have, but as I don't know them, I can speculate. And that would be, you know, you fall into themed around like critters, you know, like the theme is you fall into an Egyptian theme. You fall into an Egyptian tomb. and you're in a movie rather than reality, and all these things come swarming towards you, like scarabs and I don't know, snakes, stuff like that. This guy even looks like a sort of Skaven Beastmaster, just being skeleton instead. So that could be pretty cool. Or having their mortal allies, you know, like some sort of Arabic Tuareg themed thing. Probably too many models though, it probably wouldn't happen, but yeah. But I still think you can make these look pretty cool actually, if you just make them really desert dusty and some of the colors shining through instead of that. I would never buy that thing, sorry if you like that one. Don't take it personal. Warriors of Chaos, yes, an interesting army I think. Just, you know, plain troopers, I like those the best. Perhaps with some of the horses and yes, oh, the old, what are they called? Marauders on horse, something like that. The ones they removed pretty recently, I really like those better than the new ones. Sorry for repeating that sort of sentence all over again. The alternative armies here would be pretty obvious, you know, like each god having their own army, like the Nurgle and the Khorne and whatever the other ones are called. Or perhaps they should make something else than that. Like someone would have, I don't think demons are here, but yeah, whatever. Let's just say that those are the armies that I would probably be mostly interested in, a Nurgle one. And when it comes to made to order, I would really like to see it. He's not in the picture, right? The guy, they re-released him pretty recently. Like the guy sitting on a horse with a scythe, looking pretty Nurgly. Which with that sign that says Kislev on the side. I actually bought one already, but I would like to buy one more to paint. Sorry. Because, well, you probably guessed it, I don't like the new one, I like the old one. Sorry. Well, moving on. These trolls actually look pretty cool. I could perhaps imagine myself buying a set of those just to paint. Yeah, well, anyway, move on to Battlefields of Bretonnia. Aren't you supposed to be like goat people as well? Because they're not in here, right? Okay, so there are no goat people, and I don't see any demons, which is weird because they exist in all the other sort of settings. But let's not just speculate about goat people, because I've already spent enough time talking, and without an inspirational picture I can't really tell what I would like to see. So let's just head straight for the conclusion instead. So, what's the point here? I can tell you that it's not that I want everyone to know what I wish for Christmas, you know. Nor do I expect Games Workshop to take a look at this video and suddenly make the 6th edition Iron Breakers the next, you know, made to order for the Dwarves. The point is that while I read through this, you probably disagree with something, you know. Perhaps you don't think that the High Elves look stupid in their pointy helmets. Perhaps you think they look really awesome. Flying Eagles is your thing. Or perhaps you think that, you know, like the Chaos guys, they're just stupid, you know. It's just like a big old armor with an oversized axe that doesn't even fit the guy, you know. And I'm totally fine with that. We all have different tastes. And that is a problem for Games Workshop. Because, you know, something running as long as Warhammer Fantasy, because that's, in the end, that's what it is. It's been running for such a long time that you have a lot of people with different views on things. Not to mention, you know, like different people have different views in real life in general. But they still want to sell us all miniatures. So I think the made to order stuff is really a clever thing, you know, like you can take some of the stuff that they somehow seem to know that they were popular back in the day, or perhaps just spray everything. I mean, the Bretonnians got quite a few releases. This way to the car. The Orcs and Goblins, they got loads of stuff, but they also had quite a lot. So perhaps they just spray on pretty much everything for a made to order and hope that something sticks. And then we got the alternative armies, which is a really neat feature, you know, like oh, actually I do like it from a gameplay as well, you know, like you can get your own little special thing. But it's also kind of nice, you know, like they have the same sort of point evaluation, like the game testing done for the points, and then vary it a little bit. Yeah. And you still get a sort of a flavor to things, so you can actually like fit even more people into the same sort of domain there. So is there some sort of good advice that could get from this? Well, the thing I concluded is that for the factions that have not yet been revealed, we know that they will do the made to order stuff, and the made to order stuff is actually pretty cool because they are actually cheaper. I mean, people complain about Games Workshop prices, but the made to order stuff is actually cheaper than buying the same thing second hand online. Trust me, I've seen it many times, at least in Sweden it is. So they're quite a good deal actually. And the problem is that they obviously do it to get the fear of missing out thing, and the way to avoid it is to plan ahead, you know. If I want to do an Empire army as well, which my just suspicion based on pretty much nothing, I have nothing to base this on other than I think so, it will be like right before Christmas, and I planned that ahead, you know, like what would I want from the old stuff, what sort of re-release things would I want. If there came some Wood Elf Way Watchers, would I buy them, for what purpose? So already when they are released I will know that I want to buy some. But then in the end also you can relax a bit, because them selling these things will also mean that there are more things on the second-hand market. So just relax, you know, but think it through, you know, it might save you some trouble later, because that's all this is about, you know, it's relaxing and playing your game and doing fun stuff, because don't forget to enjoy your hobby. Sorry, I almost forgot. Am I in the long tail, or do you have similar wishes for the made to order stuff? And what sort of alternative army composition would catch your interest? I would love to hear what you think.